If you've been thinking about selling digital products, but you're not sure where to list them or which platform to use, you're in the right place because that's what we're talking about in this video. A lot of people default to using something like Etsy because it's popular and seems like the easiest way to start, but there are so many more platforms that can give you more control over your revenue, your customers, and better profit margins and less competition. Hi, my name is Kayla, and I help content creators and digital product businesses create better content for better results. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get my latest uploads every week. So what I'm going to do, instead of throwing 20 different platforms that you can create and post digital products on all at once, I've gone ahead and grouped them together in categories. And we're going to go through those based on your goals and your niche. And so that you can figure out which one would be right for your business where you are. And so if you want to jump ahead, you can check out the timestamps below because I've listed each of the categories for you to jump to. So why not just use something like Etsy? Let's talk about it, because Etsy is great for visibility and a lot of people get their first sales there, but there are a few reasons you might want to branch out or eventually move away from something like Etsy. And the first reason is you don't own your customer list, which makes it harder to build long-term relationships with your audience, grow emails, contact them if something happens, like you need to open up a new store or something happens with your shop on Etsy, which happens all the time. And on top of it, there's a lot of competition with thousands and thousands of other shops on Etsy selling similar products. And the fees on top of it can add up quickly, especially on something like digital products where it is a lower ticket offer. You probably would like to keep as much of your revenue and profits as possible. And because Etsy started as a handmade marketplace for people who make handmade items, some digital products might get a little buried within their platform and become secondary to everything that is there. So the first category within the platforms that you might want to use to sell your digital products is going to be beginner-friendly platforms or niche marketplaces. These are great if you're just getting started and you want something simple with minimal setup. They work really well for things like printables, planners, simple digital products, and smaller template packages or bundles that you might make from something like Canva. Or if you create something very specific, some of these marketplaces can help you get discovered faster because some of them are niche specific. And if you're planning to sell a huge catalog of various different types of products, or maybe even dive into different types of product types like courses, these might be a little too limited for you. And so you might want to look at one of the other categories, but this is great for beginners. So like I said, easy to set up, low or no monthly fees on some of these platforms, good for getting started without an audience. So most of them have search capabilities so users can go onto the platforms and search for what they're looking for so you can be discovered without having an audience. But these do offer less customization, maybe some limited branding in terms of how you might want to show up in your shop, and there are going to be some competition, much like Etsy. So the first option is going to be Gumroad. Gumroad is great because it's beginner friendly and you can get up and running in as simple as a day. It's clean. It's a simple way to start selling your products right away. And Gumroad is actually one of the most popular beginner friendly platforms for selling digital products. It works really well for creators who want to start quickly without worrying about setting up a full website. And you can list products like ebooks, templates, videos, or memberships. And it also lets you collect email addresses and set up subscriptions or pay what you want pricing, which is kind of cool. And so the main limitation is that you don't get much control over the design of your storefront. So Creative Market is another great platform that you can create and sell digital products on. If you're just getting started, it can be an easy way for you to get your products in front of a built-in audience, but this is going to be one of the more niche specific third-party platforms. It does take a percentage of your sales as well, and you'll need to actually apply to their platform in order to become a seller. So this is one of the platforms that I have a history with. I started selling way back in 2016, and I still currently have a shop on there, even though it's not always updated with the most current stuff because I do use my own website these days. But if you are just getting started, it is one of the better marketplaces with a long history of being out there supporting creators. So while it is beginner friendly from a traffic perspective, meaning it has a built-in audience, you don't have much control over how your shop looks, and you are still competing with thousands of other shops. And like I said, it is a niche created third-party marketplace because it does market its resources to people who create content, graphic designers who need fonts, templates, things along those lines, stock photos, anything you can think of for content creation and digital items. And so it is more geared towards that style of user as well. Now, Creative Fabrica, on the other hand, is a platform very similar to Creative Market, but it has a strong focus on crafters and design assets like fonts, SVGs, and templates maybe that you've made on Canva, and particularly around creating bundles. So they're really great at marketing and selling and showcasing different bundles from their creators and their shops. So it has a built-in audience, much like Creative Market does, much like Etsy does, but it is this more niche-based crafter style marketplace. And you can list your products as part of their subscription as well. Like they have a subscription for their audience, or you can sell them individually. And I believe Creative Market has that option as well. But one advantage is the exposure that you're going to get to these buyers who are already browsing all of these creative assets and things for their niche. But the downside is going to be that you have to share your revenue. There are going to be fees and percentages to sell. So for instance, I'm here on this page all about how to open up your shop, and it goes into the earnings from each sale. So it says that on their website, you can earn up to 75% on each sale, whereas the percentage might be different on some of these other third-party websites, especially these easy beginner-friendly ones like Creative Market and even Etsy and so on. So you want to make sure to check their terms specifically when you open up a shop because each one is changing and different from each other. Now, another one of these niche style third-party websites that are easy and beginner friendly is going to be the Teachers Paid Teachers website. However, that is for anyone in the education space, creating lessons plans, worksheets. It is a dedicated marketplace for people already looking for those types of resources, which are typically other teachers. So a lot of times teachers are creating resources for teachers. That's why it's called Teachers Pay Teachers, because it is dedicated to swapping ideas and resources among educators. But it does have a large built-in audience of teachers actively searching for materials. So if you're new to selling digital products and you create educational content, it might be one of the easier ways to get started. The main downside is you don't have much control over your storefront, which is most of the downsides for these easy, beginner-friendly, user-friendly types of marketplaces. And you will be competing with other shops because, as you can see many different resources from different shops, which is great because it has a built-in audience, but it does come with that added competition. So our second category in these marketplaces and platforms you can use to sell your digital products is going to be a link in bio style shop. So if most of your traffic comes from Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, these are going to be a great fit for your business because they're best for these low ticket types of products, maybe even lead magnets if you want to grow your email list, or if you have mini courses or some kind of digital download or bundle that you want to deliver instantly, they are made for that. But if you are planning a full storefront with multiple different products and dozens of different ways to, purchase things from you or enroll in a course and then purchase a bundle and then enroll in a membership, it might be a little too complicated of a scenario for this, but this is going to be another easy beginner-friendly way to start. So like I said, perfect for social traffic, quick to set up. You don't need a website for a link in bio style shop. And it does have some limited customizations, but it is easy to customize with what they do offer you. And it is best for when you have a smaller list of products that you want to sell. So your first option is going to be StanStore. It's really popular right now because it's easy to set up and perfect for creators who are selling through social media, especially on platforms like Instagram. And so StanStore is a link in bio style storefront for creators who sell directly through social media. It's very beginner friendly and doesn't require you to set up a website. You just get to create that link in bio style website, which you can see here on their homepage. And it's great for beginners who have smaller, product suites. So if you have 3, 4, 5 products, great. But if you are planning on creating a huge, catalog, this might not be the direction for you. So PayHip is also a cool option for these link in bio style shops. It's very clean, easy to use. I've seen a lot of creators have success here, and it is similar to like Gumroad that we looked at before in the earlier section, category 1. And it does have a few extra features like Gumroad. So you can sell digital downloads, memberships, even physical products. One standout feature is the ability to offer EU VAT handling automatically. So for you tax nerds or people who are completely stressed out about taxes, it handles VAT taxes for you. And PayHip also has built-in tools for creating discount codes, affiliate programs, and pay what you want pricing, which is something that Gumroad also had. And so pay what you want pricing is like putting up a product and allowing people to choose the price that they want to pay for that. And it's great to build rapport and trust with your audience to offer something like that. And it's kind of fun and a standout way to offer products because not a lot of people are doing that around these parts online. So it is great for that reason. So while it's great for beginners, the design options for your website and your storefront, obviously, like all of these so far, are going to be limited. But it is still quite a user-friendly, clean work environment. Plus, it does have that free start, so you can get started free, try it out, and see if it works for you. If you already have an audience, though, and you have one that likes to support your work, Ko-Fi is an option you can use because it adds a nice mix of a tip jar and a shop all in one. So Ko-Fi is actually designed for creators who want to combine selling digital products with accepting donations and offering memberships. So it works really well if you already have a supportive audience and want a simple way to share your work. You can list different digital downloads, maybe even set up a monthly subscription or take one-time payments for single individual digital products. The platform's super easy to set up, but it's more limited in terms of advanced selling tools. So there's no funnels or anything like that. And you can't really brand the store experience, but it is pretty neat. So it's pretty simple to set up. You click on how it works and it walks you through the process of creating your account, connecting your own payment method. So you will have to set up something like PayPal or Stripe in order to collect payments. And then you customize your shop and share it with your audience just like you would with any other link in bio style tool. And that leads us on to our category 3, building your actual own website. So this is way more advanced than a simple link in bio, but if this is something that you're looking into, you're going to want to listen to this because these platforms are definitely going to be ideal if you want to create something fully customized and branded that you fully control. So it's a store that you control on your terms. You set the pricing, you collect all the revenue and the profit. They're great for selling a whole library of products. Unlimited amounts of products, right? Larger bundles. You can even sell courses this way. It does add another layer of complexity, which just comes with building a custom website or building your own website or store. But it can be anything you want. And so you can present it any way you want, polished, professional, any branding you want, but they are not as fast to set up. That is for sure. And so if you just want to test an idea quickly, and put together something quickly, this is probably not going to be for you. But if you want it to feel more customized, this is definitely going to be the way to go. So just to reiterate and cover this again, full control over branding. It scales really well, meaning you can add more and more and more products over time very easily. You can create something super professional. There is more setup time. There will be monthly or annual fees for hosting your own website. It's minimal usually, but there is going to be some ongoing fees or costs, and you do need to bring your own audience to your website. So it doesn't come with that built-in audience like something like Etsy or Creative Market. So Shopify is probably one of the most popular platforms for building a fully customized and branded online store because it's flexible and it has tons of apps and works well for scaling any size business from something small to something big. It's great for digital product sellers who want full control over their brand and their storefront and their website. You can customize it really easily, and you have full control over everything from what your store looks like to the customer experience. It's all in your hands, but it does come with some monthly fees and some of those extra costs. However, the upside is going to be that you get to keep all of your revenue through each sale. So there is no revenue sharing in this. This is all your profit. So that is going to be the number one biggest upside to this. Next is WooCommerce, which is a plugin or an app that you can add to your WordPress website. This is what I personally use for my entire business. Everything from courses to digital products to memberships, all sold on my WordPress website with WooCommerce. And so my entire website runs on this, and it's where I sell all my products. I love having everything all in one place instead of relying on third-party marketplaces. And it gives me complete control over the checkout experience, the customer experience. It's very flexible, but it does require a lot more setup and some technical know-how. And so it's not for the faint of heart, but it is worth mentioning because it is a very long-running, well-trusted platform. But it is a lot more complicated than something like probably even Shopify. So just know that it is available for any WordPress website, and I happen to love it, and I'm definitely a DIY type of person, and so I like to get my hands in the entire process. And so if that is not you, this is not for you either. Which brings us to a fourth category, all-in-one platforms. These are going to be very, very similar to the build your own website style Shopify site, mixed with those link in bio style sites with the user friendliness. So this is kind of a best of both worlds, and we will get to talking about it. Because these platforms are perfect if you're selling courses, memberships, coaching programs, or bundles of different products. They're also a good fit if you want to run and collect email addresses and run email marketing or funnels all in one place. But you don't want to mess with super technical, build it yourself style websites. So if you want to only sell a single PDF, let's say, or a couple of digital products, these all-in-one tools might not be the best place to start. But if you have plans to grow something bigger and aren't heavily technical, these are probably going to be for you. So Podia is the first platform we're going to talk about. It's an all-in-one platform, fits well within this category. It's great for selling digital downloads, courses, memberships, webinars. It's easy to use. It handles everything from hosting your products to collecting payments. And it's definitely a great choice if you want everything all in one place, though it does come with a monthly subscription. So this is an investment in your business and in what you are creating, but it is all in one place. So like I said, it's kind of the best of both worlds, custom website versus just a simple link in bio. It kind of combines the two ideas together, but it is an investment in what you're creating. Now, this one has completely impressed me over the past couple of years. System.io is how I pronounce it. It's definitely a very affordable all-in-one platform that combines funnels, email marketing, digital product delivery. You can sell and create an online course there. It hosts your online course community. It's just definitely one of the better, more affordable options that I've seen out there. So definitely, if this is something you're leaning towards, I recommend trying this one because it has a free account. So you can set up one funnel for free, one sort of, sales funnel, one digital product for free on a free account. And in fact, inside of my own content membership, where I release monthly digital products, I created and included a pre-made sales funnel for System.io that my members can import and start using right away in their System.io account. So for me, it was a simple, solid choice to recommend to my own members and create a easy to use funnel that they can use within a simple click. So that's how much I enjoyed it, even though I don't personally use it because I had already built my business around WordPress and WooCommerce. But if I were starting over today, I probably would send people to System.io because of how easy it is to use and how user friendly it really is. Now, one of the platforms that my members do love prior to knowing about System.io is Thrivecart. And Thrivecart is a checkout platform known for its one-time payment model instead of a monthly subscription. And it's great for creating high converting checkout pages, upsells, and order bumps. So it is kind of like a funnel platform. So you can create and sell things on this platform and host your digital products through this platform. And it has its own, hosting platform as well called Thrivecart Learn. And so if you're serious about building funnels for your digital products and you want to avoid ongoing fees, Thrivecart is actually going to be a really strong option for you, but it is not a small one-time fee, that is for sure. So this is a new one that I haven't heard a ton about, but it has been popping up here and there. And so I did think that it would be good to mention in case you wanted to try something else out among all of these options. So Lemon Squeezy is a newer platform designed specifically for selling digital products, handling things that might be complicated for you, like VAT, taxes, and things like that. It's a good option if you do want that all-in-one checkout and delivery system without needing a lot of extra plugins or the complications of building your own website. So it's really great for that all-in-one style that we've been talking about. And many creators that I've been hearing from about Lemon Squeezy like that it has a clean and modern interface, which some of these older platforms like, Shopify, WooCommerce, and so on, they are a little bit, clunkier and a little slower to update with some of the trends. And so that is one of the things that I've been hearing. And the main drawback is probably that it's not widely adopted yet. So we don't know a ton about it entirely. So there are going to be limited tutorials and things like that if you are sort of not into DIYing things and are looking for, as much help as possible. So just keep that in mind. On this same trend of all-in-one platforms, you've got this one called Teachable. This is one that I've actually used in the past when I was developing online courses that I wanted to launch. And I've since launched online courses and decided to move them to my WordPress WooCommerce website. But Teachable was integral in that process. And I actually used Teachable for many years. So it's very popular. It's been around at least since 2016. I know it's probably been around longer than that, but that's how long I've been around doing this. And it makes it easy to create and sell online courses as well as other, single digital products if you really wanted to, but it is really made for selling online courses, but it's also made for selling coaching. So if you've been looking to get into that as well, you could do both types of things in your Teachable shop. So you can host videos, PDFs, and downloads all in one place. And the checkout process is super simple. It's really made to be all in one. And like I said, personally, I've used this in my own business, so I highly recommend it. So we're getting close to wrapping this up now, but lastly, I wanted to give you a simple checkout tool, something that I've also personally used in the past, and it doesn't get enough attention as I see it, so I thought I would mention it here. It is a super lightweight tool, so it's made for simple selling and checking out. It has very low fees. It's very quick to set up. It is not an all-in-one website sort of tool, but it is made for creating digital products and selling them. And it has no built-in audience, okay? But it is called Sendowl. And the great thing about Sendowl is it is super easy to create and sell your digital product. You simply just upload your digital product, create a checkout button, and there you have it. It's as simple as that. And so if you go to their platform and look at the steps involved, it's pretty easy. You create your product, you connect it to your payment gateway, so PayPal, Stripe, and then you start making sales. They also have what looks like personalized storefronts. Now, I haven't used Sendowl in a minute. I used to use it all the time in this process of growing my online business, and I really found it super user-friendly for me. But to see that they now have personalized storefronts makes it even better. So I highly recommend checking them out, just because I personally, even in the beginning stages of them and me growing as a business, they did a bang up job. I enjoyed it. And honestly, I just enjoyed it from a simplicity standpoint. Nothing too complicated, not a lot of coding, didn't have to create a special website or learn everything there was about WordPress or Shopify. So I highly recommend looking into something like this, if not this. So let me give you some tips for choosing among all of these categories and options that we've gone over. There's a lot to think about. And so this is where I would start when deciding and thinking about what you want to do. So first, you want to ask yourself, how hands-on do you want to be, whether you want your own audience or a marketplace to get an audience from. So Creative Market, Etsy, and some of those other third-party marketplaces that have built-in audiences. That would be a really easy way to get started while you figure out what else you want to do. But definitely pick one to start with, and what features you actually want most. Because if you know that you're going to create an online course in the future, don't put all your eggs in one basket that doesn't allow you that option. You might want to test something out, but definitely keep your eyes and ears open for something that is going to offer the features that you are looking for, and what the costs look like over time. So if you can put all of your effort into something that has a lower cost over time, and you know that this is a long-term investment, go all in on that. But if this is something you want to test out and you're not sure about, consider those month-to-month options and know that all of these other options are out there for you if you want to eventually move to something a little more permanent with less ongoing costs. But on top of the ongoing costs, there's also the revenue sharing. So those third-party websites that have that built-in audience, you are probably going to end up sharing 25% of your profit. And so that can make a huge difference in terms of what's worth it for you. So these are the things that I would be considering, and just know that building my own website did take a lot of upfront work, but it really did pay off in the long run. And I've been doing this for about 10 years now. And I highly recommend that if this is a direction you want to go in your life with your business, look into things that have a little more longevity and less revenue sharing, because that does become a liability at some point, because you don't own your audience and you don't own the platform, and therefore you're sharing a lot of that responsibility with another company. And so this is part of the reason why Etsy is not my favorite platform, because I've heard time and time again of shop owners getting their shops shut down. So one of the things to consider is how long you want to be doing this for and how much responsibility personally you want to have in this. So let's talk about your action plan. If I were starting out today, what I would do is I would start selling with a link in bio. So something like StanStore, something like Sendowl, something super easy to put together one product and a link in my bio and start generating leads and sales through my content, while in the background working on a way to grow my email list. And you can grow an email list with something like System.io. They have a free account option. And so I might start trying to build my email list there, and at the same time placing the link to my System.io email list with my one free funnel, linking that in my StanStore, and still having everything in my StanStore, but attempting to use other tools like System.io will get you familiar with the process of using other tools and being more adaptable to different platforms. So I would probably use System.io to create one free funnel, and that one free funnel with my free account would be to grow my email list. And then from there, I would likely start adding more links to my StanStore from System.io. So if whatever product I posted in my StanStore started selling, I would use that revenue to upgrade my System.io account and create maybe a second sales funnel of some kind. And then I would consider removing my StanStore, unsubscribing from it, and putting all of my revenue into a monthly subscription to System.io, where I can build a couple of funnels and I can create a link in bio on their platform. They have a free blog that you can create with your account, and you can create like a simple little website that looks like a link in bio. This is actually an example of a template that I've created for my members inside of the content membership to use on System.io. So this is a very simple page that you can create to look like a link in bio, and you're using System.io. But that's what I would do for the next step after you've decided to move away from StanStore. And I would definitely grow your traffic to those sales funnels with social media and video content, linking to your link in bio, sending people to your lead magnets, to grow your email list, to your products, and so on, that are all going to be linked in your bio, whether you're using StanStore or System.io. And lastly, while you're still learning how to create content and drive traffic to your links, I would set up a blog, whether that's on your System.io website or whatever website tool you're using, whether it's WordPress or Shopify shop. I would create a blog, and this blog would be a place for you to create content, long form content written, where you would maybe embed videos or embed content from your social media, all linking to your website. And within your website or your blog, you're going to link to your products, your lead magnets, and so on. And so this is something that you will eventually get to, but it might not be the first thing you do. Like I said, the first thing I would probably start doing is creating content and linking to it in my StanStore. And all the while building an email list and learning how to use these other tools over time. Now, if you want to learn more from me on how I would do this, I've actually created a full guide and resource below. These two resources, actually, 11 ways to create cash flow in your online business, and my Blueprints to Profit roadmap, which gives you a 15-day system to build, launch, and monetize your offer. So you can get those linked below for free with all the details of how I would actually go about doing this. And if you're a digital product creator and you just don't want another course to watch, I'd love to invite you inside of my content membership. This isn't training. This isn't just training. You actually get the tools and done for you content to help you get found online and on social media, to grow your audience, to make consistent sales. Every month you get proven resources you can brand as your own, like templates, graphics, prompts, and tutorials, all put together so that you can show up online without starting from scratch. It's designed specifically for creators who want to build a real business around the digital products without having to spend all day on social media or reinventing the wheel when it comes to their content creation and marketing. So if you'd like to learn more, definitely check that out, linked below. So there you have it. Which platform are you going to start with? Let me know in the comments below which one you're thinking about trying. And if there is one platform you'd like me to go deeper on a tutorial on, I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.